What's happening, y'all? Scorpius here, and welcome back to another Path of Exile 2 updates, patches, and news video. This has to be one of the biggest patches the Path of Exile 2 has gotten in a very, very long time. I'm talking about the 0.2.1. As you can see here, they released the patch notes, and they are a lot of them to read. So, as always, what I've done, I read them 2 or 3 times, and I made a nice little simplified version of it right here that we're going to go over. I managed to find every single thing that they added, and there's a lot to cover, so I'm going to try and be very quick on the intro, but do make sure that you like and subscribe so you can support the channel and also boost the video so more people can actually see it and help them out as well. So starting off, we've got a lot of features and system changes that they added. Now we have 22 new endgame runes. We also have 15 new endgame soul cores and runes, and the talismans. We're getting 7 new talismans as well. All 3 of these things, for anybody who doesn't know, they're Socketables. You grab them, you drag them, and you put them in your gear. And just for you guys to understand what I'm talking about, let's go and check out exactly what they brought in the game. Here we go. This is the list of everything. All 43 new items that entered the game. So on this website, I'm gonna link this down below. You can find every single soul core, the runes, and the talismans, all 43 items that have been added to Path of Exile right now. I'm not going to go over them because there are 43 of them, but we've got a lot of very, very cool options like runes that your bow attacks fire an additional arrow. You've got soul cores that increase your projectile speed. There's now 5% increased movement speed on the runes that you can add onto your boots. Very cool stuff. I'm going to add the link down below so you can go and check all of this. But that's everything that has to do with soul cores and all that stuff. So if we go in and see what else we have, we've got mythic uniques. Mythic uniques are things like Headhunters, Mjolnirs, and stuff like that, like the very rare uniques and the good uniques. Now drop significantly more often, which is a big, big plus. Unique drop calculation no longer considers item class. Uniques like rings, amulets, much more likely to drop. The RNG is going to consider your class first and try and give you a good ring or amulet for your class, which meant that it's going to completely block the chance of you getting a good unique. Well, now they changed that, and that's no longer going to be happening. Common uniques, which are the bad uniques, drop less in high rarity areas, which means that you're going to be getting better uniques more likely. Then we've got party unique drop bonus has been lowered. Item mod tier numbers have been reversed. So now whenever you're holding on to alt or whatever you guys do over on the consoles to check what tier your mods are to know if they're good or bad, the best tier from now on is going to be tier 1, and the higher the numbers go, the worse the mod gets. Why this is really good and everybody wanted it is because once you hit it and you see tier 1, you know it's the max. You know it's the best tier that you can possibly get, and then you work your way through the rest. That's basically it. Omens have been adjusted. Same quantity, but rarer, powerful ones now appear up to 6 times more often. Refund all passives button has been added to the passive tree. Only appears if you can afford it. So if you want to respec your entire build and you don't want to click, and you're gonna click away anyway the 90% of the entire tree, you can now just one click and respec the entire thing. Corrupting essence monsters have much higher chance to upgrade to greater corrupted. And lastly, one of my favorite ones, passive tree search has been improved. Press enter to jump to results using mouse and keyboard. So if you go to the passive tree and you type in overwhelming and you press on enter, it doesn't matter where you are in the passive tree, it's gonna take you to overwhelming strike. Next, let's talk about monster and combat balance. The chaos volatiles from the smothered rituals spawn rate has been halved and damage has been lowered. Empowering volatile plants have been nerfed. Other monster tweaks are things like Forsaken Miner, death no longer leaves grenades for anybody who has encountered that. Rat tornadoes have been nerfed. Draven, the Eternal Praetor, melee plus cleave damage has been reduced. A Nerd Runecaster has been nerfed. Lightning Storm strong boxes have fewer bolts and better visuals. And Chaos Volatiles VFX have been improved so we can be able to see them better. Next big subject is the endgame mapping changes, and there's a lot of big stuff happening here. Drastically increased map variety, so we don't have like multiple different hidden hidden grottos. Monster packs in biomes are less restricted. Atlas Fog of War vision, now based on nearest revealed map, is more consistent. Citadels have two different changes. A, the spawn rate has been increased, and B, whenever you find one now in the Fog of War, you're going to be able to get all three of them next to each other, so you can be able to get all three fragments as fast as you possibly can. Waystones with curse mods now cast player style ground AoEs instead of area wide debuffs. Then we have the mods of giants, which is the AoE mod, has been disabled. Of splitting only appears in tier 6 plus maps now, and of penetration, the mod has been flattened to 10 to 15%, used to be 15 to 25%, and it had tiers. Rogue Exiles now have a higher chance of carrying good uniques and more uniques. Then we've got Chaos Pustules in rituals appear less frequently, slightly larger for visibility as well, so they made rituals a little bit better. We've got the Viridian Wildwood unique map. There are going to be more enemies and better encounters now, and also the Omen altars that you find in the Viridian Wildwood have visual indicators now, even if they're in the darkness, and they appear more consistently per map that you run. Then we have some pretty cool Twisted Domain improvements. Catalysts drop significantly more. Clasped hand breach rings now are always rare. Overall rewards have been increased, and they said it's going to be significant, so we'll see. Rare magic pack spawn chance has been increased, and the number of monsters have been reduced as well. Next, we've got the expedition logbook changes, and to be honest, it's massive changes in the expedition again. It's just becoming better and better, so let's just cover through them very, very quickly. Explosive radius plus 25%. Hidden caves now guaranteed in every single logbook that you run. Frigid bluffs, new frozen unique monsters, break them without explosives. Remnant mechanics reworked. The Barren Atoll is getting some juicy stuff. More destructibles like crates of gold that drop more gold. Ezamite remnants drop more runes, which you can find the new ones as well. Massive increase in strongbox quantity. They now appear on the minimap, so you know exactly where they are. The Lush Isle, there's a new expedition remnant type added. And then we have some general improvements on the expeditions. More special remnants, guaranteed rare item drops from many logbook chests, more monsters overall, plus higher rare monster proportion, and unique map icons for points of interest and remnants. Really good changes for the expedition. The last one that I have here is inscribed ultimatums now tell you which boss you're gonna face, which is, I think, a nice little addition there. And of course, we're going into the uniques. We have 9 new unique items targeting endgame build. Shout out to my boy Icy. We found all 9 of the unique items. We know 4 out of the 9, and the 4 that we know is obviously the Whispering Ice that we covered it in the previous video. Go and check that out if you want. We know the Last Lament, the new crossbow. We of course know the Kadiro's Gambit, the brand new quiver, and the last one was the Lion Eyes Glare. But the other 5, we don't know them. So let's look at them. So the first one we have here is Constricting Command. It gives you maximum life, it gives you attributes, life regeneration per second, and pin enemies which are primed for pinning. Next, we've got the Mind of Council Death Mask. Gives you evasion, energy shield, gives you maximum mana, 20 to 30% on lightning resistance. Not bad with the lightning resistance there. Attacks cost an additional 6% of your maximum mana, and attacks have added maximum lightning damage equal to 6 to 9% of maximum mana. So I can definitely see this going into something like the Lich, for example, if you are actually stacking mana. So I think this is going to be a very, very interesting helmet right here. Next, we've got the Mork Shaft, a toxic quiver. Grants you the skill Bursting Fen Toad. Poisonous toad leaps towards enemies and explodes, dealing damage in an area and inflicting poison. Actually pretty good stuff. It's like having your own pet that sacrifices himself for you. Not bad. 25% chance to trigger this skill on kill, so it's actually a passive. Nice. You don't need to actually do anything with it. And then we have chance to poison on hit with attacks. We've got additional physical damage to attacks. Mana per enemy killed, not bad. Increased poison duration. We've got chance to poison on hit with attacks and blind targets when you poison them. Moving on, Adonia's Ego, 100 to 150 maximum mana, plus 3 levels to all spell skills. It also adds some cast speed, but then it seems that it has 2 negative to actually balance out how broken this one can be. You get minus 10% to to all elemental resistances per power charge. And we've got -1 to -1. I don't know if this is a typo, we're gonna see in game, to maximum power charges. And lastly, we've got the Palm of the Dreamer Shrine Scepter that gives you impurity, that increases your chaos resistance as an aura. It gives you attributes, it gives you light radius, skill effect duration is reduced on it. However, you gain 27% of damage as extra chaos damage and grants the effect of Dreaming Gloom Shrine, which is slain enemies explode, dealing chaos damage equal to a quarter of their maximum life. So I've already said like the Lich build like 2-3 times, but seriously, this could be really cool for that build as well. And since we covered the uniques, let's go back to our little notepad here and see what else they changed when it comes down to the uniques. Not only they added new stuff, but they actually improved some of the existing stuff. So buffed existing uniques, all divine orbs compatible unless noted. Headhunter has gotten a massive buff. Mod steal duration has increased to 60 seconds, so a minute, from 20 seconds. Affects all versions. Chaos Heart gives you now 1500 life instead of 1000. Bringer of Rain now has a 100% increased critical chance, no divines needed. Prism Guardian, 1 spirit per 25 life, used to be 50, which is really good here. Defiance of Destiny, instead of having a fixed 10% life recovered on hit, it's now 10 to 20. Yoke of Suffering, damage taken per ailment, 15 to 20%, used to be 5 to 10. Duration reduced, now 30 to 40%, used to be 20 to 30. Then we've got the Spire, higher chaos damage plus leech, up to 20%. Hammer of Faith, 250 to 300% physical, used to be 200 to 250. Shrine buffs last 20 seconds instead of 10 seconds. Mjolnir, for some reason, got the buff, 250 to 350% physical, used to be 150 to 200, plus 2 to 4 lightning skill levels, used to be 1, and new skill, Thunder God's Wrath, no mana cost, scales up to 200% damage at level 20. And lastly, we've got the Guiding Palm split into 3 different versions. Heart, which is the fire with massive flat damage on the fire, 20 to 30 strength, 25% extra fire. Then we've got the Cold with the same stats, but instead of strength, it's intelligence. Instead of fire, it's cold. And exactly the same goes for the lightning. Then let's look at some miscellaneous improvements. We've got Balbala quest has been fixed. Balbala's Baraya now drops in normal if needed. Monster physics have been optimized in Freythorn. Then audio monk class has been added, improved SFX for monster ability, skills, and Wake of Destruction. Then we've got the gamepad accept trade now on R1. I know that this is a big deal for a lot of you guys. Interact priority option added, enabled by default. Tooltip improvements, quick move quest rewards, and microtransaction equip option. All of that has been fixed for the gamepad. New gem tag, this is for everybody in the game. New gem tag has been added in the game that's called Barrageable. Then we have a brand new MTX type, character skin. I think this is going to be pretty cool. Then the Socketables stash tab that we got a couple of weeks ago has been updated for the new runes and all the new stuff that we just got. Firestorm can now consume ignites from corpses too. Clasped Hands radius increased in breach encounters, really good stuff. AI improvements for Laklan of Endless Lament and Rattle Cage. There's a fixed 4 instant crashes, 3 client clashes, various gamepad related issues such as character naming, input prompts, and multiple companions. They fixed the MTX black box bug, Spectre energy shield bug, temporal rift arena escape, incorrectly grayed out support gems, affliction, boon, packed rarity being 50 to 100 times too common, invisible arrows, Gemling Legionnaire node not working on gamepad, Atlas not cleansing visually after corrupted nexus clear, monsters not engaging or failing to drop loot, Exile not generating the Viper Nepoatsi's arena, Expedition logbooks failing to generate, crossbow desync, and barrage/charge infusion swap issues. That's what they fixed. I don't know if the instant crashes or the client crashes mean that they fixed anything with the stuttering and all that stuff happening in the game, like the server crash issues and whatever, but these are all the additions, changes, improvements, buffs, and everything that we just got in 0.2.1. I really hope that I simplified everything and this video is not too long, but let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your favorite unique is, and let me know what your favorite new Socketable is in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can support the channel, and make sure that you stay tuned for more content like this one. If you want to chat, if you want to game, if you want to ask any questions, you can find me live over on twitch.tv/Scorpius_ENT or here live on YouTube. Until then, as always, I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace.